Hi, happy Valentine's Day. Hope you're having a good Saturday. It is also Lara Croft's birthday today, so I had been planning to play Tomb Raider today, but my game crashed my entire computer. So we'll see. We'll see what happens today, what goes on. But hello, happy Valentine's Day. I hope your weekend's been great so far. Um, Hi Pisces, hi Luna. Hope you're both doing good and enjoying your weekend. I don't have anything planned today other than to chill like we always do. Yeah, happy birthday. I really wanted to play Tomb Raider Anniversary. I know that's what it says on the live, but my game was not working with me. So I'm hoping they update the port for the Tomb Raider games because they've been a little bit bad. And unfortunately, I think Square Enix is working with Amazon Games for the next one, so it's probably going to be downhill from here. But we still love her as a character. So happy birthday, Lara Croft. You would be. How old would you be today? I didn't even calculate that. She would be 58 right now. And I calculate that based on the fact that canonically, when the first game came out, she was 28 years old. So she would be born in 1968. But, anyways, yeah, she's a mature baddie, exactly. I ran her chart. I presume she is a. Well, she'd be Aquarius sun, obviously. I'm feeling like she's a Taurus rising, because 10th house sun makes sense to me, and also that would give her a Leo moon, which also makes sense to me. Um, and she would be a 5th house moon, believe it or not, and Jupiter, a 5th house Jupiter, like yours truly. So it must be why I like her so much. But anyways, do we have plans today for Valentine's Day? It is currently the evening, so if you're here, you've probably already done your plans, or you won't have them until a little bit later. But hopefully, you're having a good day and you enjoy your Valentine's Day. So, the plan for today is to just relax, play some games maybe later, but we're going to talk about divination and we're going to do some divination things. Divination things being, I want to maybe do a couple of readings if anyone would be interested in readings. They are available by Redeem. But I'm thinking of doing like collective check ins, what's going on in love for the signs. If anyone would like to be a part of that, they're welcome to. But I'm doing it for singles only because if you're already in a relationship, I'm not going to tap into your relationship. I'm going to only tap in if it's for the single baddies who aren't on dates right now. So we're gonna go ahead and get into that in a little bit, but for now we're just gonna chill. We're gonna chat. How is everyone doing? How's your weekend been so far? Let me know. Do you have any plans? Do you hope to have any plans? Did someone ask you to be their Valentine? I hope so. I should drink my Alani while it's still early. I really wanted to play Anniversary today, but for some reason it decided not to work with me. I had to reset my entire computer, and that's why I streamed a little bit late. I know, it's very rude. That's why I streamed a little bit late. I usually start the stream right at 4, and, or right at whatever time it is, and it was giving me a hard time, unfortunately. So, we might be playing Final Fantasy again. I'm not sure. I have a couple of alts that I haven't done the event on yet, so maybe we can do that. There is a Valentine's event right now, so maybe I can get on and do that. But that's not going to be till a little bit later because I would like to do some divination or talk about astrology today. Um, right now, the astrology is looking pretty interesting because we just started our Saturn and Aries transit literally last night. Like yesterday's stream started The Saturn. Oh, I didn't start the Saturn Aries transit. It started right when stream started, around 4 p.m. yesterday, Pacific Standard Time. And I am super excited for this transit, mostly because it'll be in my second house of personal finances and just like personal boundaries and kind of teaching me how to just stand more firm in my own identity and my own personal goals and things like that. So currently, oh, it's a balsamic moon. I almost said balsamic vinegar. It's a big word for Elmo. Um, I'm really looking forward to Jupiter getting out of Cancer because it's been retrograding in Cancer since like May of last year, I think. Well, it's been a hard time for me, so I'm looking forward to the transits changing very soon. I love that. That used to be a vocal stem for me. Balsamic vinegar. It's a big word for Elmo. I usually just say that's a big word for Elmo when something complicated is going on. Oh, thank you. I could really go for a hug right now. So yeah, we just started a Saturn and Aries transit, so I'm looking forward to how this transit is going to influence people on an individual level and also on a global level. Um, we will also be getting the Aquarius North node in June, I think. I think we're getting it in June, I want to say. But we also have eclipses going on. So we have an eclipse on Tuesday. So Tuesday starts a new moon, right? We have a new moon in Aquarius. And that's going to be exciting for two reasons. Because, for one, new moons are always exciting just because they're new moons. They're bringing in new beginnings for everyone. But for new moons and solar eclipses, not only do they bring in new beginnings, but it's usually very eye opening, very good for like, I wouldn't say good for manifesting, but I would say it's good for allowing you to kind of see what you need to kind of, it's like a giant flashlight on whatever it is you need to kind of figure out, fix, get going. It's not about changing something in your life necessarily, but allowing this space for you to kind of recognize this is revealing to me my path for the next year. We have another eclipse, I think, in March. No, I think it's in March. Yeah, we have a. Usually our eclipses are back to back, so we have another one in March. That one should be interesting because I think it's going to be in Virgo. So, as a Virgo, I'm pretty excited for that as well. But I'm hoping that for whatever we do today, that everyone has a good time and that everyone just kind of relaxes because looking at the kind of chart that I'm looking at right now, we're dealing with a moon in Capricorn at this very moment, and the sun is still in Aquarius, and having that much Saturn going on in the sky on a Saturday is good and inviting for kind of setting up what we want for ourselves for the next week. And because we have that solar eclipse, I'm kind of hoping to do some messages for the collective in terms of what we have to look forward to and how we can best align ourselves with our goals in the future. And because it's Valentine's Day, I'm hoping that it will be from a place of self-love. So how we can best utilize this energy to promote self-love and nurturing for ourselves. And when we focus on that self-love nature, we're focusing also on aligning with ourselves the best way, and that will thus align us with people that we need to be aligned with or that we deserve to be aligned with. That includes romantic partners. So if you are single and or lonely or both, then this is a great time for you to kind of sit down and write in your journal and your manifestation journal what it is you want out of a partner, but more so what you want for yourself in that relationship, because you can have a great partner but just not feel ready for it. And so what we're thinking here is to promote self-love that aligns us with the person that we want to be with, that we deserve to be with. And that could be anybody. So if you have someone in mind, that's great, but I feel like right now the person that should be most on your mind is you. So keep that in mind. We're not doing love readings today. We're doing self-love readings today for the collective. And so that might be a little bit of a things you might not want to hear. So keep that in mind when you're listening to these messages. Only take what resonates. They can come off a little bit harsh, not necessarily because I'm here saying that your self-love journey is necessarily a harsh one, but there are things that might be said that might not you might not want to hear, because I think with some people they want to hear just all the positives when it comes to love and self-love, but that's not always the case. So we're going to be doing some self-love readings for the collective, things that we need to kind of focus on in the next year, or at least what the solar eclipse might be shining on us for the year of the horse, because we're also starting a lunar new year, the year of the horse. So a lot of people were talking about the year of the snake and how we're shedding like a final cycle, and how like 2026, when you add up 2026, it's a 1. So a lot of people are kind of predicting this to be like a new year once Tuesday passes. Like we're going to have like new energy coming in, and it's kind of feeling like hitting the ground running. You know, we want to get started as quick as possible, but we also have Saturn in Aries. So Saturn is limitations and delays. Saturn only changes signs once every like couple years. So Saturn and Aries people haven't had their Saturn return in like 28 years. It's been like 28 to 30 years. You have your Saturn return. You go through your Saturn return every 28 to 30 years. So for most people in my age group have already been through one Saturn return. So if you are going through a Saturn return right now, just know that with it being in Aries, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's considered like it's ready. It's ready to go. Like we're ready to go for things. You know, there's this like very like jump at the opportunity sort of energy with everything going on in the sky, but because it's Saturn, it's going to show you how to go forward with intention. So you might be fully ready, and the astrology might be telling you that you are fully ready to just go and get and be done. But Saturn is teaching you how to be intentional about it and how to approach it in the right way. So listen to the signs that Saturn is giving you, listen to the messages that Saturn is giving you, especially if you are experiencing your Saturn return, because it's very likely that you already know what your Saturn return is going to be about based on the house that it's in. But if you don't, of course, please check astroseek.com. It is the best, in my opinion, free site to start learning astrology. But we're not really necessarily picking on astrology today, as our Divination Saturdays will go, because I'm feeling like the astrology won't really be that important until after we pass eclipse season, because then things will be a little bit more settled. So we're going to use divination, specifically tarot, specifically rune dice. I have other dice that I can use. I also have an astrology dice here that we can use, and we will be open for readings for today. So if you want to book a reading, my Ko-fi is available. My Ko-fi is words. I cannot function today. I can't function most days. Thank you, Pisces. I was like, is it gonna work? Yeah, it's weird because sometimes it's on a delay, and I don't know why that is. Yeah, like it does. It did it last time. Remember, you were able to toggle it last time, but for some reason, every so often, no, you did it last time. Like yesterday, it worked just fine, and then today it's decided, nah, fuck you. You know what it is? It's because today is Saturday, and Saturn being like, oh, you know what it also could be? We are actually currently in a Mercury retrograde shadow period, so that might be it. Because Mercury retrogrades, for those who don't know, always cause technological problems. Internet is weird. Yeah, it's just a lot going on. The Mercury retrogrades happen in Pisces. Like, Pisces is, I'm sorry to say, one of the hardest places for Mercury to be. Great if you're like a musician or an artist, but for things to function properly, no. So my Ko-fi says that it's connected, and I'm testing it. That's a test. So like it should work. But I might have to test Stream Elements because it might be conflicting with Stream Elements. So let me go check Stream Elements. It's not a real stream unless you got scuff. Am I right? Am I right? Someone tell me I'm right. Yeah, it's what I'm figuring, because Stream Elements tends to get in the way. A lot. Of course it's Stream Elements. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be Stream Elements? They be fucking me up all the time. The perils of live content. Yeah, literally. Alright, so that's the thing. We have readings available on my Ko-fi. Let's see if it works if I do it. It's funny because, like, sometimes it'll be like, yeah, it works. And other times it's like, nah, fuck you. Yeah, see, it's a nah, fuck you day. Custom commands. I might just make a new custom command just to overwrite it. So this is the stream now. Just kidding. It's not. It's funny because, like, I could have tested this earlier, but it was working literally yesterday. It was literally working yesterday, so I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why you're being mean to me, but you are, and I appreciate it if you would stop. Please stop. God damn it. So while I'm setting this up, I'm going to do a quick explanation of how my readings work. So when you do see the Ko-fi page, that is where I take commissions. It's where I take my tips. It's where I take pretty much all paid content. And you will see that some of the readings, well, most of the readings have parentheses on the ends or beginnings of the listing. There are two indicators. One will say TS and the other one says PO. PO is not piss off. PO just means private only. I will not be doing those specific readings on live. However, the ones that say TS stands for Twitch safe, so I will be able to do them live. The reason I'm setting it up that way is because some of the readings are not necessarily private in the sense that they're actually like bad, or that your reading is going to come out bad, but maybe it's not something you want read on live. Some of the Twitch safe ones are like you can ask a question, but sometimes the question people ask me that they say, oh, you can just upload it to TikTok when you're not streaming, which I do. They'll come out and say, well, you can answer this question. And I'm like, well, I'm going to not say what the question is while I'm on camera because it seems like a private issue, but here's your yes or no. You'll know what your question is. Alright, so that should work. Let's see if it does. Okay, so it's the same command. I do think 100% that the Ko-fi command doesn't work because it's overriding, it's messing with your Stream Elements is messing around. So I decided, why not just take the Stream Elements? There we go. It is accessible to everyone. If you lose the link, you can just use the command, and there we go. So it's there. It's good. I'm actually going to go ahead and pin that so no one loses it, but also, you know, it's there. I do accept tips. If you tip, I'm not going to do readings unless you have a question, but the tip minimum for a question is $5. Just letting you know that. Okay, so we are going forward today in love, self-love specifically. if you're manifesting self-love for yourself, that is important. It's more important than manifesting a specific person or the idea of a specific person. Self-love is different for everyone. I don't believe, and I don't think anyone really should believe, that you have to be like in love with yourself in order to manifest love for yourself. Like you don't have to be working on yourself until you find a partner. Um, you can be working on yourself while you're with your partner. But you have to also understand that sometimes our journey to self love is a reflection of the partners we choose. And, or the partners we choose is a reflection of our self love journey. That's technically the way I should have said it. So if you have a partner and it's feeling like you're constantly doing self love work, there might be something there. So I'm just going to say right now that there is nuance to everything that I say. I say things in a very general way because if you're feeling like you need a reading on a specific topic, then you'll come and get a reading. But I feel like most people need like a very general advice of you can have a partner and also be on your self love journey. That doesn't mean that you don't love your partner because you don't have self love. The thing is, though, the more we learn to love ourselves and we learn what it feels like to be loved and to feel that love within ourselves, it does change our perspective of what it means to have the partner we already have or the partners we have had in the past. So, if your self love journey has you questioning your relationship, that is something you do need to reflect on, and that is something that you do need to consider because you don't want to put other people's feelings above your own every time. Now, of course, it gets complicated and there's nuance to everything. I do not do readings on other people, so whatever situation you might be in terms of like your self-love journey and figuring out like if this person is right for you, I do readings for the self-love part, but it's up to you ultimately to figure out if this person is right for you or not. If you have to ask me, a person who doesn't know you or your partner or your situation, who's never been in your shoes before, if a person is right for you, you do need to stop and say, why am I asking a stranger to pull cards on a situation about another person when I could just have that conversation with them? Because that is part of the self-love journey, is understanding that if you have to ask a tarot reader about you and another person, then it's probably, you know what I'm saying? So we do have an ad break coming in 5 minutes. Now the Ko-fi stream bot's working on its own. Uh, well, there you have it. Okay. So we do have the ad break coming. So what we're going to do is going to wait for the ad break to kind of pass, and then we'll get into readings, self-love readings. The approach is just to do general collectives, not for a particular zodiac sign. I'm thinking of doing 3 self-love messages for today for the collective. So whichever of the 3 resonates for you, you'll know if any of them do. Self-love messages can just be random messages of affirmations. They can be call outs. It really depends on who I'm reading for. You'll know if it's for you. You'll know if the message is for you because it will be for you. You'll just know. So we'll get into that in a minute. And we'll get into that after the ad break, but if you feel like checking out a reading or booking a reading for later, I am open for readings, but again, if I'm not streaming and you want a live reading, I will be available again on Monday, and my schedule should be up on my Discord. If you're not in my Discord, you're welcome to join it, but it will have my live stream schedule, and I'm pretty much available for readings any other day, so feel free to check it out, but I will be going into ad break very shortly, so we'll get into some general self-love messages soon. Thank you, Pisces. All right. Yeah, before we start, though, there is never pressure to book a reading. It's only if you feel called. Don't ever, ever, ever push yourself to book a reading. Unfortunately, I've seen some readers on TikTok Live who will just sit there and be like, you want a reading? You want a reading because you're confused in life. And I'm like, that's not how we do things. That's not how we should be doing things. So just be careful of people soliciting. If you get DMs from readers who are just like, I felt your energy and I think you need a reading, and they give you some generalization, they always give you the same generalization. They're like, you miss someone, and you have a passed over loved one who's reaching out to me. It's like most people on this earth have a passed over loved one who misses them, or they miss their passed over loved one. And they most likely, most people have a person in their life that things didn't work out with, or things like it's be a little bit more specific and I'll believe you. You know, tell me something that no soul would know about me, but only I know about me, because I have my secrets. Not many, but I have some. And unfortunately, I have yet to meet someone who is genuinely, like, I bet one person who was able to accurately channel my grandmother's initials, and mostly because I had asked if they had any messages for me because they were a psychic, and they were like, oh, I have a message from a passed over loved one, and they gave me my grandmother's initials. They described my grandmother, and I was like, that's interesting because you're describing a person with this hair color, but when I remember my grandmother, she had this hair color. And they said, well, before she passed, she had this hair color. You probably didn't know about, though, because I'm getting that you guys were no contact, and that was true because of cult situation. So there were specifics, but it's like it's also like one of those things where just because a person's really good at channeling the specifics, you don't have to do readings with people just because they hit your DMs and they were accurate, because that's invasive. You know, just because a person has an accurate bit of information on you doesn't mean that you owe them anything. So it gets a little bit hairy, I think, when it comes to those solicitors. And so just letting you know, if you see an account that looks like me and it says I'm like reaching out to you to give you a reading, we don't do that. Genuine readers don't do that. So ad break is starting in 30 seconds. I'm gonna be right back. We'll come back and we'll do some self-love messages. Please take care of yourselves while I'm gone. Welcome back. I hope you had good ads. Hopefully nothing crazy. Let's see. All right. So we are going to be doing some self-love messages using tarot. As always, you're welcome to book a reading during the time. The Ko-fi's been listed. It's in the pinned. I do want to say that we do have some rules for these readings for the future. If you book a reading ever during live, there are some rules we have set up. It's a very general, like, wall of text. Go ahead and take your time reading it. If you need me to explain it, I don't mind. But the gist is that while we're doing these readings, whether I'm doing collectives, whether I am doing a paid reading, I, Val, would appreciate it if people are respectful of the space. If you're making a lot of jokes, if you're basically, shouting out memes a lot, like, I usually don't mind these things. I want it to be a fun experience and a fun day for everybody who's here. But when we're discussing like tarot and we're doing readings and we're doing all these different things, it's kind of distracting to just keep making jokes and stuff like that. So unless the comments are like, unless it's referring to what I'm actually talking about, you're making reference to things that are in line with what we're talking about, yes, we need to be respectful of the person receiving the message, even if it's a general collective like we do our Monday messages. So please keep that in mind. Yes, what Pisces is saying is absolutely correct. Thank you, Pisces. So, yes. We also have, like, we're going to have to set up a queue at some point, I think, in case that's ever a thing. I want it just set up in anyway. So people have, like, a number in the queue or something like that. I might have to set that up. But for now, because there's not really a demand for it at the moment, we're just going to be doing our free content, which is our self-love messages. And we're going to go ahead and switch over and do that. So remember to take what resonates. That is one thing I need to say. With all of my messages, including the ones you pay for, take what resonates. There is going to always be something in the channel that might not make sense right away or might not apply to you. Maybe it doesn't apply to you ever or at all, but you're welcome to sit with and kind of figure out how it pertains to you and your situation, because everyone's situation is different, especially with free content. There's nuance. There's nuance to everything. So we're going to switch over, and those are the rules, so make sure you read them well. If you need to access the rules again, please do so by using the... Why the fuck I just set this up? Welcome to Stream Scuff, where we have more scuff than stream. Alright. I like how I set this up and checked it before stream, and it's like, you know what? No, screw you. Okay. So, as always, we have dice and we have tarot. Today we're using the Chrysalis Tarot. Chrysalis Tarot is one of the tarot decks that I use the most when I'm doing love readings, self-love readings. It is, the paintings were done by Holly Sierra and the book was written by Tony Brooks. It is one of my favorite decks because it has a very storybook kind of art style. I mean, the Lovers is right on top. I didn't even plan that. So it's a very, like, beautiful, very cute, very lovely deck. I appreciate it. It does have references to, like, other, belief systems, other deities. So I am a Norse pagan, but it does have, like, other, depictions. Like, it has Mot from, ancient Egypt. It has the sorceress, which I don't even know what this is a reference to, as the high priestess. We have different depictions. Instead of like the cups, it's mirrors, and stones instead of pentacles, scrolls instead of swords, and spirals instead of wands. But you kind of get the idea from just looking at it, what energy you're doing. I just love that the Lovers was right on top. So as always, these are always going to be 3-card messages. For the collective, we're going to do 3 self-love messages. Now, we'll see how this resonates for each person, but of course, take the parts that resonate. There is also a message you can redeem in the channel points at any given time, regardless of if it is a divination day or not. We'll also take the time to go through each card, because I do know that people like to be educated on what the cards mean. And I don't know that people are really coming into a tarot reading to learn the cards as well, but we can go ahead and do that too. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit more, because it's not that it's wrong, but it's feeling kind of wrong to me. So we got that going. All right. And of course, remember to take what resonates. Self-love is different for everyone. You might feel like you love yourself just enough. You might feel like your self-love journey is exactly where it needs to be, but I can guarantee you that if you're feeling called to listen to my messages, there is probably something that you haven't heard yet, and maybe it's food for thought. Now, you don't have to take it if it doesn't resonate, but feel free to sit with it anyway. Okay. I don't think I have enough Florida water here. Okay. Remember to take what resonates. These messages are general messages of self-love. What experiences you've had thus far, you'll know if it's for you. You will also know how this pertains to your personal experience based on the messages in them. What is our first self-love journey message for today on Valentine's Day? What are we taking with us into this new year on Tuesday? How are we pressing forward for self-love? How are we aligning with love in this time? What's our first message? Thank you. Oh, goodness. Okay. One more card, please, and thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, I'm not sure how good the glare is for this message. So, hopefully we're seeing the cards pretty well. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit more. I think it's good like that. So, or maybe it isn't, I don't know. It's weird because you'll spend hours adjusting your camera and just be like, you know what? Nah. Okay, good. I'm glad the glare isn't too bad. I'm definitely going to be investing in better lighting soon, because the light I have is literally just this big of a square, and I think it's great for what I'm doing, but I think it's going to be better to just invest in something else. So for this message, please remember to take what resonates. We're not doing this by sign, we're doing this by vibes. So take what resonates. Don't force the message to fit. So we always do bottom of the deck card, and then we do top of the deck card. The top of the deck card is the 5 of Wands, and the bottom of the deck is the 3 of Pentacles. So automatically, this issue that we're having in self-love and our shadow is external conflicts that we're feeling in our community and our sense of togetherness with others, our structure and our collaborations with others. Think of this like building new friendships. This is maybe even coworkers that you get along pretty well with. I'm kind of feeling like this is bonding and harmony speak, but also conflict based on, you know, things that we don't really quite understand within ourselves, or just, you know, having a difficult time reading other people's intentions. Maybe people just don't align with you on an external level that you really believe in. People can be aligned with you on an internal basis, but you won't be feeling it on an external level because of your own perceptions of things, right? So what we have here is we have the 8 of Wands first, the 9 of Cups second, and the Knight of Wands as our third card. And I find that this is a pretty fascinating. Let me adjust this one more time. It's a pretty fascinating combination because we're seeing kind of a lot. We're seeing a lot of intense energy coming in. This is like fireballs coming into a forest. This deer is trying to run for safety. When we see the Eight of Wands in the original Rider-Waite deck, it's literally just the Eight Wands. We're not seeing any sort of context of what's actually happening. So in the Eight of Wands original Rider-Waite art, I'm thinking of it as um, overwhelmed, but not necessarily in the context of any specific thing. It can be overwhelmed as far as information. It can be overwhelmed as far as passion. It can be overwhelmed as just as much as like climbing the ladder in your job. It's literally just the tension you're feeling of overwhelm, of just too much is going on. The forest fire and bam, yeah. I'm kind of feeling like that's maybe what this is talking about. I feel also that with the wands in tarot, it doesn't have like a very specific energy. It's just personal magic and the magic you feel around you. It's not necessarily anything other than that tenacity. You know what I mean? It's kind of speaking towards um, not what it is, but how well you're handling it. And this definitely feels like something you cannot handle. But with the Nine of Cups in the original Rider-Waite, it's a person who has everything they want. So right away, this is like blessings and harmony. But I also feel that because it's in combination with an Eight of Wands, it's like this isn't something you can handle emotionally, but it's like you're happy with the overwhelm. You're happy with just the everything that's kind of happening in your life. The Knight of Wands is also quick action and tenacity. So I'm kind of already feeling like the self-love message is really just about how you're handling things emotionally. Why are you so happy with the overwhelm? You've manifested a good life for yourself and you have everything that you want, but why are you so happy with conflict? And why are you so happy with structure? Because you do know that it's in your best interest. But I get sort of this vibe that you're still kind of living from a place of survival where you're allowing the sense of things are coming together to overwrite your stress in it. You can still be stressed, and you still might be responding from a place of stress. Just because you know things are working out for you and going to work out for you, you don't have to be totally okay with the way it unfolds. You can be unhappy with the way things unfold, and be overwhelmed by how things are unfolding for you, and also still receive the things that are unfolding. You don't have to be grateful for your stress. This feels like a self-love message as far as healing from this feeling that, like, if I'm not totally grateful for it, then that means I won't get it. It feels very like religious trauma, like always having to pray over and show gratitude towards things. It's like, yes, I can know that things are working out for me, but still also know that I don't like how it unfolded. And you don't have to like the way things unfold. That's kind of the crappy part about life, is that sometimes things will unfold in a very uncomfortable way. Just like my stomach is making noises already because it is very upset with me because I'm drinking this. But I get the vibes from this that you're in a state of overwhelm and you're not able to really process your emotions. You're not giving yourself the time to process and release the emotions, that you're just kind of like soaking it all in. You're not a sponge. You're not a sponge for the things that are going on in your life. Even if there's a lot of good things going on, you can give yourself time to be like, I love my life and I love where it's headed, but holy fuck, can we slow down for like a little bit? Can we slow down and just enjoy it? Because I feel like you're not giving yourself enough time or resources to slow down and enjoy things. And that rush of joy and emotion in that joy is great, but it's like you aren't being given the right space to like really sit down and logically structure what you want it to mean for you and the people around you. So make sure you're keeping this in mind. but also keeping it in mind in a way that feels safe to you, because this feels like you're forcing yourself to feel safe in your energy, and you have a lot of good things going on, but it just also feels like you're still responding in a like closed up sort of way, because the Nine of Cups is like joy in your manifestations, but it's also like it's still like closed up. It's not letting the emotions out. So, how you're expressing your feelings right now is important. It's okay to allow yourself to express the stress that's happening to you. The people around you will understand you. You can trust the community that you have when you are losing your damn mind, because your emotions are overwhelmed. And this is positive energy. This is good energy. This is good things are happening. But I think that too much good thing happening is sometimes a lot. It's a lot of intensity, and it might be a lot for people who, I don't know. I feel like in my collective there's going to be a lot of potentially like people worrying that the good is actually something bad, or that there's going to have to be some sort of compromise. You don't have to compromise for anything. It's making me think of that Eartha Kitt quote that I showed you, Pisces, last night. You don't have to compromise with the right people. That's your trauma talking. Yeah. Okay. So that's the first message. You don't have to compromise with the right people. I just split the deck. You have the Two of Cups here. So this is definitely like, you can share how you're feeling even when it feels like you can't. Oh boy. Who's that for? We're moving on. But yeah, you're allowed to feel how you feel. You're allowed to feel overwhelmed. You're allowed to be stressed about it. You're allowed to be happy, but also anything that you're responding to from a place of trauma doesn't mean that you are traumatized or being re-traumatized necessarily by your situation. Good things can be overwhelming to someone who is used to bad things happening, or conflicted with the idea of good things happening, because sometimes it can feel like a Trojan horse situation. That's how I'm understanding that message. Now, of course, I do still feel like there is a bit of overwhelm in the collective right now, because Eight of Wands can also have to do with like social media and communicating via like social media and like misunderstandings and stuff like that. So really regulate your time on social media right now. That's a good message for self-love. It is important to stay informed and to be aware of what's happening in the world, especially because the files were released. A lot of people are talking about them. Please regulate and understand that it is good to be informed. I'm happy that everyone's being informed. I'm happy that people are unifying to protect each other. But I think also we have to take time away from that as well, and recalculate and recalibrate with ourselves and re-regulate with ourselves, because I feel like that energy could also apply on a very global level. Because everyone is dealing with a lot of high tension situations, and we're happy because we are finally feeling justified in our anger and justified in the things that have been going on, that there is some reality checks happening here, and that can be very validating for everything that we've experienced up until this point. But this kind of tension is helping us be motivated forward, but it's also not regulated, and it's not from a grounded place. So make sure you're coming from a grounded place. Stick to your community. Make sure you're around other people who are helping you stay grounded, and you're keeping them grounded as well. Okay? Self-love includes others. Why is my stomach talking to me? Stop it. I'm gonna drink some water. I think that was a solid message, by the way. I do know there's a collective overwhelm because of everything that's been released in the Epstein files, everything that's been talked about. Watch I don't get flagged for saying the word fuck or talking about adult activities, but I get flagged for saying Epstein files, right? Probably, I don't know. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and do another message. We're doing 3, that was the first one. We're doing a second one. Hopefully the ad break notification does not come in and disrespect me in the middle of my talking and shuffling. But if it does, we can go ahead and either snooze it or just let it go and we can come back to our second message. If we have free time, we can play some games. If not, that's also okay. I would like to just spend Saturdays talking about tarot and breaking things down. Alright, let's do another self-love message. Remember to take what resonates. These are general, not for any one specific zodiac sign. And of course, thank you for being here. Thank you for loving yourself. Interesting. So I don't know who this is going to be for. We have the sun on the bottom of the deck. And I'm going to actually shuffle a clarifier. Kind of get an idea what this message is saying because I'm not really picking up on other than the very obvious implications. Because we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Four of Cups, and we have the Knight of Swords. We have an ad break starting. Yay! 5 minutes. I can get through this in 5 minutes, right? So, the Seven of Wands is not necessarily rejecting our Six of Wands, and it's not necessarily... It's the card before the Eight of Wands, obviously. So, we're dealing with... a regulation of what we can handle, a recognition of what we can handle, but it's also getting in our own way. And the Four of Cups is kind of settled under a tree and usually rejects that fourth cup. But in this art style, I don't think she really notices it because it's behind her. And some iterations of the Four of Cups, I've seen it where the cup is not noticed because it's behind the person. So I feel like this is like being headed in the wrong direction or being quick to choose something other than what's waiting for you on the other side. When I asked for a clarifier for the whole reading, I got the Page of Swords, even though we already have the Knight of Swords. And then after I'd shuffled that out, we have the Lovers on the bottom of the deck, and we also have the Eight of Pentacles on top. Someone is definitely keeping their head in the sand when it comes to something being gifted to them or offered to them. And it's help of some sort. It's some sort of emotional advice or something. And when I cut the deck, we have the Queen of Swords in the middle. And the thing about the court cards is that they show us the way that we're best utilizing the swords energy. So I get the feeling that whoever this is for, in terms of self-love, you don't have to put logic into everything. Yes, it's important to sit back and regulate your emotions, but that doesn't mean criticize and try to think logically over emotional matters or matters of harmony between two people. So for your self-love journey, especially on Valentine's Day, is get your head out of your ass is the best way I could put this. You don't have to bring logic or overthink a situation. I kind of feel like this isn't really saying you're overthinking anything. It doesn't even have to be about necessarily love. I think this is just, I feel like this is a person who puts themselves in a box because they've always lived that way. Um and the box that you're living in versus what's around you, the harmony of what's around you doesn't have to deal with romantic love. It can just be the love that you feel around you as a human being, as a person. It includes everything. It's not just the stuff that you're used to. Because with Seven of Wands, I'm thinking of it after the Six of Wands as a things we've already succeeded in, things we are already aware of, things we've already challenged ourselves in. And I feel like you're like, yeah, well, I'm done with that. I don't need anything else right now. The thing that you have coming towards you that you're kind of rejecting isn't really a reflection of what you've already done, but something new. And you're maybe thinking in terms of what you've already done instead of being open to what's potentially new and in front of you. I'm going to get another clarifier as we're getting into the break because I want to make sure I'm getting like a very good message out of this because I'm very confused about it. Two clarifiers. The Page of Cups and the Ten of Cups. What's that about? So our clarifiers for this reading being what this is, and then our clarifiers being a Page of Swords, a Page of Cups, and a Ten of Cups. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say this is outright someone trying to offer and you're rejecting them, but I get kind of a vibe that it might be, and it might be a message for someone in my collective. Now, our moon card on the bottom just is kind of signifying that this is a situation that you think you know the answers to, but you really don't. You have a very foggy interpretation of what's happening. Our ad break's going to start in like 5 seconds, so we'll come back to this after the ad break. Remember to take care of yourselves. Take care. And we're just going to sit with this. Because, oh my God. What is this message? So for those of you who still can hear me, and I'll do my best to repeat this when we come back from the ad break, is self-love is a widely misunderstood word. Like, self-love is one word, to me anyway, and it is a widely misunderstood topic because a lot of the times people reject relationships, whether it's friends, whether it's a romantic partner, whether it's a new job. They'll just say, oh, I don't feel ready. And this is what this is kind of giving me. Someone who doesn't feel ready and is very actively showing that they don't feel ready, even though, like, they kind of are. And this could be any type of love. It could just be a self-love journey where you're ready to take the next step, either romantically, not romantically. This is just like, it's like waiting, saying, oh, I'll go outside when the rain passes, and it's like a drizzle. Like, it's not that it's even raining that bad, or that there's even rain to begin with. It's like the rain stopped hours ago. The clouds might still be dark and nasty looking outside, but like, you could still, like, at least take an umbrella, do something, you know? Self-love isn't about, I need to, like, protect myself. You do need to protect yourself, but it's also, like, sometimes self-love is putting yourself out there, too, or being open to it. But only you will really know, how this pertains to you. I kind of just feel like this isn't so much about you being open to a relationship, whoever you are. This isn't even saying that there is a relationship out there for you. It's just that there are things happening in your life outside of you that you're needing to be way more open to, instead of sticking in this like box or this bubble that you have to completely reject any sort of affection or flirting or anything like that, because you are just such a stickler for, no, I have to be in my self-love journey. I can't flirt. I can't do this. I feel like this is a person who's not like giving themselves a little bit of wiggle room to at least start putting themselves out there a little bit. And part of the self-love journey is saying, I know when to keep myself isolated from practice in that area. And self-love is also like, you're rejecting your own self-love by not putting yourself out there at the same time. Because that's what I feel is like, love is not just about who we date, who we have sex with, who we have intimacy with. It's all around us. And when you're limiting it to a bubble of what you have personally experienced, you miss out on all the other kinds of it. So allow yourself to be open and allow yourself more wiggle room. I feel like this is a person, and whoever this is for, you'll know. I feel like this is a person who has good reason to be shut off and reject, but it's also like your mentality is helping you find that person. So don't be an asshole when you find them, because you'll know when you find them, is what I'm getting from this. You setting the ground rules now and the boundaries now is going to help you find that person, but don't be so shut out when you do find them, because you will know when you found that person. And you won't fully know, because that moon card was there. You won't fully know that that's your person, but you do have to eventually open back up. Six of Pentacles being the being the final clarifier is funny because it has to do with shared resources. Okay, so that was our second message. I don't know who it was for, so remember to take what resonates. Why is my nose itchy? Anyways, we are going to continue in a moment. How are your ads? Did you enjoy your ad break? How's it going? Are we enjoying these messages? Just a friendly reminder, there is a Ko-fi link that's right in the comments. If you'd like to book a reading, you're welcome to. But there are also points that you can redeem for a question using tarot or using dice. I'm actually going to be right back 1 second. So, my nose wouldn't stop itching. I was like, let me just fucking fix that. So, thank you for waiting so patiently. How are you feeling about that first and second message? How are we feeling? Are we good? Are we happy? Are we doing okay? All right. So remember with self-love messages, it's not just about... Yeah, well, you're not the only one. You're not the only one who's called out by the first one. That one was a doozy. It's like, stop keeping your feelings to yourself. Like, no. That's not how my mama raised me. Yeah, I'm thinking of switching decks because, like, as much as I like using this one, I have a feeling that it's just going to kind of repeat the last ones. I don't know why I'm feeling that way, but I just am. So I'm going to switch decks. It's not going to be any different. I do primarily use the Chrysalis Tarot for my self-love messages and love messages in general. But the thing about self-love is you can get it from anywhere. Love is everywhere. It's in you. It's all around you. The love that you're not ready to receive externally is sometimes a reflection of the love you're not giving yourself internally, just to let you know that. So the more you reject something on the outside, the more you're rejecting something from inside, okay? And vice versa. Can my stomach shut the fuck up for a hot minute? Do you think it's safe to use the Morgan Greer? I think it is. I think it's safe to use it. I want to use the Morgan Greer. So, fun fact about this tarot deck. I bought this deck on a whim because I saw the stars on the back and I said, that is so cute. I saw the art style and I said, wow, that's pretty cute too. And I bought the deck, and when it came in, I did what I do with most things that I buy, especially in divination. I ran a chart on it, and this chart has a Pisces moon. So, this deck has a Pisces moon, officially. So, since Pisces moon is one of my favorite placements in a chart, shut up, stomach, Pisces moon is one of the best moon signs. I will not argue with anyone over that. We're going to see what message we get from it. I do have a bit of an issue because the lovers, I have to cover her because it's just nipple out there. It's a whole let's just hope we don't get that card. Okay. Also, thank you for being here. Take what resonates. These are self-love messages. Ways that we can love ourselves better in this energy. Did you see that? Because I didn't. What message do we need to hear on our self-love journey today? This is our third message. Take what resonates. Well, that's interesting. We have, Y'all seeing that? Are y'all seeing that? Okay. Interesting. Our bottom card is the Four of Cups. Our top card is the Hierophant. It is a little spicy, yeah. It's a little bit interesting. If you cut the deck, they're back. Interesting. Yeah, it's a little on the spicy. We're gonna get a couple more cards going here, just in case. Hey, stomach. Can you, like, stop? Where's that audio of that white cat that just goes, huh? Because that's me right now. Interesting. This is interesting because it's kind of giving the energy of a person who acts a certain way in front of other people, but when they're alone is different. Like, very, like, very, like, life of the party, confident, but very, like, also keeps to themselves, gets really deep in their own thoughts. It's kind of giving that message we got earlier. One more card. Ugh. Girl. 2 more cards. This is another card I can't really show on camera that well because she is butt-ass naked. It's interesting to see the Emperor and the Empress in the same reading because these are they're husband and wife essentially, but it's more than just like romantic relationships. It's talking about our inner, and forgive me for this terminology, Pisces, it's our inner union. So this is definitely giving a person who is seeking to find that within themselves, but might be lacking that journey in certain ways. You might have found your inner empress, but you haven't really found your external, your inner emperor. Because I get kind of a vibe that you're just, whoever you are is someone who like has the tools to get there and is in alignment with it, but it's not really sinking in with you just yet. I am so sorry, just bumped my camera. But it's not really sitting with you yet that you're in that alignment, or that you're in the alignment that you're, you know, ready to receive essentially, which is coming off a little more sexual than I want it to, but it is Valentine's Day and we are in our after hours. It's 5 o'clock here, so not the lay down and take it card. Yeah, it does kind of give off booty call a little bit. Like, I'm not seeing wands in this, so I'm not getting like, oh, never mind. Not the page of wands. So if I'm reading this, if I'm reading this like I would a love reading, somebody's getting a phone call or a text. That's all I'm gonna say. Good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm not all jealous. I'm kidding. I'm not jealous. But I also kind of get the vibe from this that you don't even see it coming, whoever you are. Like, because the moon was on the bottom of the deck first, and I was just like, oh, you're not even going to see this coming. Why is my stomach being stupid? Like, I eat a full meal, and my stomach is like, you're going to make noises on camera. Go. Yeah, I get the feeling that this is like... Okay, so anyways, sometimes self-love is having a good time with your with someone. What do you mean cough? Oh, goodness. Alright, we're gonna put the deck away. Goodness. If you'd like to book a reading, I am open for readings. It could be solo fun, yes. Sure. I mean, maybe it's a FaceTime, you know? Maybe it's a FaceTime call. Maybe it's phone sex. I don't know. Good for you, though, whoever you are. Maybe it's sexting. I don't know. Good for you guys, whoever you are. It is a self-love message. Sometimes the self-love message is to hook up and have sexy FaceTime calls with people. Goodness me. Spicy. I mean, we could do spicy readings if you really want me to. But, holy shit. Jesus Christ. Why is my stomach upset? Let me ask my rune dice, why is my stomach upset? Because that's what I want to know. Kidding. But we do have rune dice. We can do rune dice messages if you'd like to book one. If you don't, that's okay too. What was that message about? All right. Putting that away. We're not talking about it. So we're gonna switch back. Again, readings are open. Let's go ahead and chat for a bit. Please don't leave. I like it when you're here. I love it when you're here. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful Valentine's Day. Did you get up to anything special? If you want to share, you're welcome to. If not, that's okay. I kind of want to do more like readings. Like, oh, you made spaghetti? You know, I'm not a spaghetti person, but I would eat spaghetti if you made me spaghetti. And when I say I'm not a spaghetti person, I straight up don't like it, but if you had spaghetti and you're willing to let me eat spaghetti in your house, I would eat your spaghetti. Because I love you that much. Spaghetti doesn't make sense to my autistic brain. I say that, I'm not diagnosed. Watch, I'm not even autistic, but it doesn't make sense to me logistically, but maybe I just haven't had it, right? I, for fun, was like, so what was that last message about in my head? And please enjoy the cards that it just gave me. Hold on. We'll just sit and chew on that for a second. Anytime I see the King of Wands in a reading, I'm like, where? Exactly. Like, at first, like, this card flew out, and I was like, yeah, sure, yeah, I mean, I know what it is. I'm a diviner. I know how to read tarot, and it's like, just flies these two out at me. That's what I should be doing. Sexy readings. Is that what you want? Is that what the universe wants me to do, is sexy readings? No. Alright, so we're gonna just switch back, and we're just gonna chat for a bit, and I probably will not get to... I was doing self-love messages, Luna, and there was a message that was very, like, booty call coded, and me and Pisces have been laughing about it. So, whoever's out there who's booty calling or not booty calling or having some self-love time tonight, good for you. Please enjoy that. enjoy your booty call or your alone time. If I'm being so honest, it reads like a couple of friends who hook up through FaceTime, and that's dead ass what it looks like to me. But you know what? Good for you guys. Thank you for the hydrate reminder. Thank you for the posture check. I'm not slouching, I just have big titties. And they tend to drag me down. Alright, so we are done with those messages. I kind of feel like I should have done more messages, but we'll wait and see if anybody is interested. Why is my hair doing that? Interested in getting messages done for them or whichever, what have you. My my redeem is actually cheaper now because I realized when I calculated it that it was way too expensive. So it's 555 channel points. But yeah. That's it. All right. Anyways, thank you for the hydrate reminder. Please also hydrate, Luna. I know you don't. How are you feeling about those messages? Do we want more Valentine related messages, self love messages? Because that last one was crazy. It's like we want a self love message, and it's like here you go, some self love. I mean that's true. That is self love, but Jesus. 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 Anyways. Alright. So, how are we feeling? What is next, you ask? Well, I'm thinking what we should do is kind of just chill for a minute. And when we're ready, we're probably gonna get another ad break warning soon, so what we'll do is start doing some educational stuff, and we'll see from there. Oh, and right on time, there's that ad break warning. So when the ad break is done, we'll come back, and again, the Ko-fi is there. If you'd like to book a reading, you'd like to send a tip, you're welcome to do all of that. And we will be on break until we're not, and then we can do some educational stuff. Maybe get some more messages in through that. I really enjoy doing messages. I think it's like one of the most fun things about being a reader. The not fun thing about being a reader is sometimes you get people who, can you tip in weed? You did that already. You did that already. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, if you want to get me more weed, that's fine. We can do blinker redeems in the future. And I can get crunk on camera. That's not what that means. Alright. We'll be back in a bit. I'm gonna go on break as well. Are we back from stream? Are we back from stream? Are we back from... Yeah. No. It's fine the way it was. Are we back from ads yet? I look too pale. What the fuck? There we go. Are we back from ads yet? I can't tell. No, we're not. Okay. Go ahead and... Okay. So we're good in 1 minute. And then we'll be officially back. Girl, what the Welcome back. What were your ads? Were they good? Did you enjoy them? Are we having a good time? Do we want to do some educational readings? Perchance? Perhaps? Maybe? Do we want to use the original Rider-Waite, or do we want to use a different deck? That's my question. Do we want to use the original Rider-Waite, or do we want to use whatever I'm up for? We'll switch to rune dice. We can do love readings with rune dice, right? Something about the Light Seers Tarot is really calling to me right now. And I don't know why, but watch it give me the same vibes. So, okay, so for Valentine's Day, we can look at whatever we're learning today, applicable to any readings, but we're doing this for the sake of love readings, because love readings are the most popular kind of reading out there, and they're also one of the most controversial because of love spells, because of the twin flame discourse. So I'm here to try and give some base education, at least in terms of how I read tarot. Everyone reads tarot differently, and you can read a million books, but if your discernment is not good, then your discernment is not good, and we have to address that as well. So when I do these readings, I say other readers sometimes do this, other readers sometimes do that. It's not my place to say what a good reader does and doesn't do. I'm just here to say what I personally think is a good reading experience and what is a bad one. I have experience with doing love readings since 2020, and again before that, I did love readings with runes, not with tarot. Tarot I've been only knowing for the last 6 years. So I'm not saying I'm not a good tarot reader. I'm a great tarot reader. It's just that I don't have as long of experience as some readers, and that's okay, because it's more about your discernment. I've also been reading runes since I was 13, so I think with divination as a whole, I'm Gucci. It's just a matter of people tend to think that they're different ways of reading divination, but most of the time the answer stays the same. You know, I've done readings for people using different divination tools, and the reading comes out pretty consistently the same most of the time. So, let's go ahead and use our Light Seer Tarot. If you're not familiar with the Light Seer Tarot, the box looks like this. If you don't know that deck, you're about to see the art style. It is probably one of my favorite decks. It's my least favorite in terms of handling because I have small hands. But we will make it work. So going forward, we're going to be doing some, I wouldn't say mock readings. These are going to be readings nonetheless. This is going to be more messages using this deck and for educational purposes as well. Remember with tarot to only take what resonates and leave the rest. All these messages are generalized, so if they do apply to you in your situation, great. But I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life. That's for you to do. It's for you to make decisions. So let's go ahead and do educational purpose only. What's our card? What a perfect start. What a perfect start for Valentine's Day is the Page of Cups. Our next card is Four of Swords. And our next one is Strength. So when you're doing love readings, oh my goodness golly, we have the Queen of Wands on the bottom and the Two of Cups on top. That's actually beautiful. So for educational purposes only, let's say we're doing a love reading for someone with this energy. When it comes to seeing cup cards in a love reading, I mostly see them as positives. Because the cups are showing they're showing that there is feeling between you and another person. But mostly when I do love readings, I'm doing it from the perspective of the person who I'm reading for and not another person involved. And so if I'm doing a reading for someone and I get the Page of Cups, I'm immediately seeing this as a person who is trying to make the most of their predicament. You've already seen every single cup card on your journey. You've received love and you've had to handle the ways that love has presented itself to you in numerous ways, not just romantically. The Page of Cups can also sometimes represent an offering. It represents what you are doing in love and what you are offering to the world in front of you. I think the problem with this, and it shows I think in this art, is that the page tends to kind of get messed up because the page is not yet the knight or the queen or the king even. The page is still in a space of I need to do things for other people. Not really in a capacity for themselves, but in a capacity for others. Pages are the knight's helpers. They help the knights. They don't really help themselves. So right away, what this is telling me is that you're out there helping people, but not necessarily helping yourself. You don't really have the space to help yourself. You're thinking of where you could plant your feet when you need to just get used to where you're at already. You know, that's why he's so fixated on his feet. He's looking at what's coming towards him instead of knowing he is what's coming towards him. He is who he is. I also kind of get this as like a sense of a lack of maturity, really, when we're dealing with the pages. The pages aren't necessarily that you're being immature. Maybe there is in some love readings, you'll see this as like, sometimes it'll refer to like an age gap because we have like the Queen of Wands here as well. We might be dealing with a situation where it's a maturity gap rather than an age gap. I can also see this as someone giving you an offer but not really being very serious about that offer. But again, like when I personally do love readings, I do them for the person that they're booking, The person that's booking the reading gets the love reading, not necessarily about another person. But you'll see some tarot readers do it about another person, and most of the time the page is telling me that there is a lack of maturity, not really a focus. It's like, I want to give love so bad, but I'm not really being intentional about the love I want to give. You want to love, but you want to love from a place of helping others, not a relationship where you help each other, if that makes sense. And the thing about relationships is it's a unity of people. It's not about one person helping somebody else. So you might be a person who is constantly helping other people, but not really giving yourself the space to rest. And this, see the Four of Swords here? The Four of Swords is about rest, but it's mostly about mental rest. So what you're being told in this reading is generally to give yourself space to rest and to find your confidence again, because the Strength card is always coming from a good place because it's about your inner strength and confidence. But most of the time people tend to misuse their strength and confidence to help other people when it needs to be about helping yourself. And the thing about Strength card is it is represented by Leo, and Leo is the heart space. So a lot of this is talking about self-love, being about rest and helping yourself. So it's essentially, this reading is saying next time you're seeking a relationship, love yourself the way that you're seeking to be loved. And then whatever person that you are trying to manifest, or whatever person that you might think you want, you've already you're setting a standard for yourself in love in this process. You're learning to love yourself so that whoever comes in or is already trying to love you has to meet your standards. And the Queen of Wands actually has a lot to do with boundaries and standards as well. Okay, so that's just like a simple like concept reading of how these love readings work when I do them for people. It's really just about telling that person, hey, this is what you need to know. Seeing like cups in a love reading is generally a good thing, especially when it's like the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups is even a decent card to see. When you start getting into Four of Cups, Five of Cups, Six of Cups, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups, you do have to go through that process in order to find love, in order to find self-love as well. But that process is not the process you want to be in when manifesting new love. If you're in that process and you're trying to manifest new love, it's you trying to skip steps, really. That's honest to God my opinion about that. All right. Not me dropping cards on my lap. What cards did I just drop? Are we for real right now? Alright, so let's get saucy, since the cards said to get saucy. What cards do you get in your love readings? Because I am seeing the Wands in this reading, and it is time to get saucy. So sometimes in love readings that I do, they do get a bit saucy because of the Wands. Wands in tarot tend to do with our tenacity and our ability to kind of find that fire within us. Wands are torches. Wands are our inner passion. And generally when you're seeing it in a love reading, it is passion. I have no better way of saying that than it's passion. The cards that came out with it, the Seven of Cups, the Three of Swords, you also have the Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Two of Cups, also the Eight of Swords, and the Ten of Cups that kind of flew out with it. I'm not going to read all of this and tell you like this is like a specific reading for anybody, but if I'm seeing this energy, I'm seeing this like a mirroring, two people mirroring each other and how much they want each other but have been through their own separate messes of things, so they're kind of protecting their own heart in it. But generally, like when it comes to like desire in a love reading, romantic desire is not just about the Wands and the Cups, right? Wands and Cups in a love reading, superb. Give me 14 of them. Like that's what you want to see in a love reading. You want to see passion. You want to see emotions. You want that. But the thing is, this combination is making me think that there is passion and a lot of confusion emotionally that's not really being discussed. Or maybe it's being discussed, but there's a lot of overthinking that's coming with it. I also kind of feel like when it comes to love readings, people tend to like think, oh, well, there's a lot of positive major arcana, so the minor arcana is just the stuff we have to get through, and they don't really consider that there's a lot to like think about, think about, consider. But let me slow down and really get into this, because when it comes to like swords and a love reading, you're thinking too much. That's essentially what this is saying. You're thinking too much, you're breaking your own heart, you're feeling too many things that are kind of just missing the point of what this desire means for you. So this to me is a person who has an opportunity. Maybe there's a hookup here. Maybe there's a person who has offered you something sexual, but you're getting too much in your feelings about what that means beyond that, instead of just looking at it as an opportunity. Do you want to hook up with this person? Yes or no? And I feel like whoever you are, you wouldn't be in the space to do that, because I feel like you're getting too emotionally attached. And maybe you're not in a space to be emotionally attached, is how I would read this. But again, this is really dependent on the person, and it's not meant to be like a full reading. It's just to show that you can see readers on the internet give decent love readings, but I have this kind of this problem when I see readers give love readings, and I'm not trying to call anybody out when I say this. It's just kind of like, you need to explain the cards a little bit instead of just, this is a yes, this is a no, because people are not going to learn how to discern and gonna get themselves hurt. Well, the tarot reader says that we would be together. The tarot reader didn't necessarily lie to you, but didn't really give you the full story. So, alright, so we're going to take a break from that. We'll drink some water. And leave it at that. I also do generally like teaching tarot because it's fascinating to me. Even if you're not a person who really gets into like divination or enjoys divination, you have to kind of accept that sometimes like on your journey there's not really physical logical answers for things, and that's why the esoteric is so important. I'm putting liquid IV in my water. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. Liquid IV is delicious, especially this flavor. Shout out to Pisces for recommending it. It's the firecracker popsicle. Alright. So I think what I want to do at this point, just kind of, oh my god, is not throw things on the floor. We're going to leave that there. We're gonna chill. We're gonna talk about nothing. No, we're gonna talk about something. I just haven't figured out what, because my plan for this stream was to chill out with other singles. Unfortunately, I have a lot of single friends, so we're just chilling and talking about tarot because I want my Divination Saturdays to be about divination. And the thing about love readings is I do kind of have to call out other readers, because as much as I don't want to talk about what other readers are doing, I have seen a lot of misinformation, and it just makes me really sad, because tarot already gets enough of a bad rep because of, I think this is too bright. That's better. Okay. Now it's too dark for my tarot. Alas, streamer scuff. That's better, probably. Is it too white? No, I think I'm just too pale. Yeah, I'm just too pale. It's fine. I don't want to be orange either. What the heck? Okay, I think that's fine. Alright. All good, all good. All right, so readings are open. They're in the pinned as a reminder. We also have a Discord available that will let you know when I am streaming and when I am not streaming. So my readings are open on days that I am streaming and not streaming. If you do want to book a reading, there will be a separation of TS and PO. PO being private only, which means I will never do them live. TS means they're Twitch safe and I can do them live. For the Twitch safe ones, if I'm not streaming, I will just record it, upload it to TikTok, or upload it somewhere else and send it to you. But usually my only thing is that I don't want to do like political questions. I don't do legal stuff. I don't do medical stuff. No pregnancy questions. No life or death situations. And also, please don't ask me how another person feels about you, because if you don't know, why are you asking me? That's kind of the whole point of a self-love journey, is if you don't know if a person likes you, reflect on that. Okay. Are we good? What do we want to do next? I think it is time that we just take a small break from our divination. Just a small one. And we chat for a bit. Maybe, if we're up for it, we look at astrology. Because I kind of want to. Maybe. Possibly. Or we can just hang out and chat. Because, like, I'm really excited for the Lunar New Year and the Year of the Horse and the solar eclipse that we're going to be having. I'm really excited for my Jupiter return that's going to be happening in the middle of the year. Even before that, I'm going to be going to a very special event in April. There's a lot of things I'm looking forward to that aren't things that are necessarily set in stone, but I just have a good feeling about this year, and I have a really good feeling about just things changing for me and doing better for me as a whole. And it's not to say like things in my life are like bad in any way, but there's just certain things that I want to move forward, and I want to not necessarily change certain things, but just allow myself the space to grow from, you know. Yeah, we have a new moon in Aquarius. It's also a solar eclipse, and it's going to be happening in my 12th house. The 12th house being the house of the unseen. So it's definitely going to be eye-opening in ways that I don't know until I know. So it's going to be fun. It's like, here's some stuff that's happening, and you don't know how it's going to unfold for you until it does. Good luck. Which is super exciting because we also have a lunar eclipse in Virgo, and it's gonna be conjunct my Mercury in my 7th house. And you know what that means? Exactly, Luna. It means screaming. Yeah. Yeah. I love when it doesn't mix. Anyways. We have that lunar eclipse full moon in Virgo on the 3rd of March. That's gonna be fun. And then in April, nothing crazy happening in April, but I think in May is when we're gonna see. No, June. It's not till June. Jupiter enters Leo at the end of June, so I'm pretty excited about that. That's gonna be my Jupiter return. The last time Jupiter was in Leo, I think, was. When was the last time? Time to Google. When was the last time? When? 2014. That's when I moved here in California. That's the last time Jupiter was in Leo, was when I moved to California. So that's pretty interesting to me, I think. That was 12 years ago. And I'm also going through my 12th house year, which was the last time it happened. And a lot of crazy things happened that year. So they all ended up being really good things. They all ended up being spectacularly good things. But they were a lot. It was a lot of things happening. So I'm excited, but I'm also like a little scared, a little nervous, but I think it's going to be good. So for the rest of this stream, since we only have like an hour left, I want to kind of play Final Fantasy. I'll be honest with you. I kind of want to play Final Fantasy. I kind of want to stream a bit longer, just in case anybody does want to come in and hang out for a reading, but it's also like, if you're not here for the given time I'm streaming, that's also okay, because I stream again on Monday mornings, so I'm going to be here. And also I might do surprise streams on Thursdays, same time that I'm doing my Friday, Saturdays. So again, like, there's no need to worry about missing a stream, because I'm going to pretty much be here. Oh, you know what's also happening in June is Chiron is finally leaving Aries. It's going to be in Taurus, which is my third house. Fun! So if I don't have enough problems expressing myself. I just love when it doesn't mix right. Disgusting. So yeah, we're dealing with eclipses from Tuesday until March 3rd or 13th. I already forgot. March 3rd. And then June, we're having Jupiter entering Leo. And then we won't be seeing any eclipses again until August, which there will be a solar eclipse in Leo, and then again another eclipse, new moon in Virgo. We're having 2 eclipses in Virgo this year. In my 7th house. And we have a new moon the day before my birthday. Yeah, I'm just like, it's going to be a messy year in terms of like relationships and my subconscious mind. Oh boy. But yeah, we're pretty much done with eclipses by the time we hit September. So August is like our final eclipse, because so in August we're having a new moon in Leo that's also a solar eclipse. But then at the end of August we're having our final eclipse, which is a lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is also a full moon. And it's going to be conjunct my rising, technically. It's going to be at 4 degrees. That's so fun and interesting. Actually, no. Pretty much, yeah. It's going to be interesting because we're going to have 4 eclipses. And if you don't know, eclipses are pretty, like, eclipses have been, we have an ad starting in like 20 seconds. But eclipses are pretty intense. That's all I was going to say. The years I've experienced eclipses, I did have pretty illuminating experiences, so this should be fun. I'll be back after the ad. We'll be back after the ad. We'll be back. Welcome back. So, I didn't have much of stream planned because I wanted to see what the vibes were. And I didn't really expect much because I knew today was Valentine's Day. So, kind of going forward, I know that I will keep saying that my readings are open and stuff like that, but I think I'm going to be planning for my readings to be just me doing the usual hangout, play games, just chat, talk, whatever. And if you do want to book a reading, great. We will switch over when somebody does, but we're not gonna like just stay ready. You know what I mean? So going forward, if anybody sees that I'm playing games and they're like, "Oh, Val doesn't seem open for readings. I don't know what to do." It's just a like maybe I'm gonna have to make a command for it. If you see Val playing readings, just ask for a reading. Or if you see Val playing games, just ask for the reading. Because that's where my brain is at. It's just readings. So let's go ahead and have some fun before stream's over. We're going to play Final Fantasy because I feel like it. Because when do I not feel like playing on my Lalafell? It was such a good idea for us to make tiny versions of ourselves. Speaking of, before we do anything else, I would like to let everyone know and make sure I'm doing this correctly. Oh my god. Can stuff stop happening? Please check out my good friend Pisces. I don't know why it's... Thank you. Girl... Thank you, Steam, for doing all of that. Please check out my friend Pisces Moon Pie. They are playing Final Fantasy XIV as well. They are an incredible streamer, and I love them so much. Thank you to all they do. They mod for me as well, and they also put up with my shit, so they're definitely worth checking out. They are a sweetheart, and you should be following them if you're not. Oh my god. Yeah, I like opened Steam, and I wasn't expecting Steam to be like, here's 50 pop-ups while you're trying to type. Thank you. So we're gonna play some Final Fantasy XIV. If you've never played Final Fantasy XIV, it is available with a free trial up until level 70, including Stormblood. I did the free trial for like a week and went, I have to pay money for this because my partner at the time kept coming across like things we wanted to do, but couldn't because we didn't have a paid, like a paid account. And there's certain things you can do in that game with a paid account that you can't do with a free trial. So we were suffering. We were like, we want to trade with each other. We want to like do PvP and we want to do all these things, but we couldn't because we didn't have a paid account. Exactly. We want to try PvP. Well, actually, it was originally at the time we didn't know there was PvP, but we did know we wanted to trade with each other because I think at the time she had picked up like crafting and or gathering. She wanted to help me like get some stuff so I could have an easier time with the quest, and I straight up was like, why can't I trade with you? And we googled it and we're like, oh, it's because we're on free trial. So broke college students were like, pay money for game. And I had to quit a few times because I couldn't afford it because I was without job for a while. And also just like being in college and being a student in general is really time consuming. So you don't get a lot of time to play games. So it is what it is. Yeah, we didn't know PvP even existed, I don't think. Because I think at the time we were just like, what do you mean there's PvP in an MMO? We were just like, that doesn't make any sense. Let's switch over. Actually, let me make sure that it's selected on my thing so you're actually seeing the game and not Why is it doing that? Girl, you are pissing me all the way off. Oh, that's why it's doing that. Okay. Stream scuff. My favorite. My favorite is the stream scuff. It makes me very happy. Okay. So we can switch over. All right, let's switch over. Yeah, we didn't want to do PvP also because the thing about PvP is Luna and I met through League of Legends. We met through her cousin who also introduced us to League of Legends. And when you play League of Legends, you well, you don't love yourself. And well, anyways, you don't love yourself. You don't understand that people who, yeah. Shun the non-believers. But now that I've tried PvP on this game, I love PvP, but I would not go back and play League of Legends. I think that that would be terrible. Imagine playing League of Legends in 2026. Couldn't be me. But believe it or not, that's how Luna and I met. And I'm surprised we still talk to each other, to be completely honest with you. All things considered. But I'm glad we do. She's a great person to have in your life. I would shout her out, but she does not stream, but she should. No pressure. Aid the injured gladiator at the Coffer and Coffin in Central Thailand. Thank God I unlocked a bunch of stuff. Yeah, like, meeting through League of Legends, staying friends through all that, like, that's crazy. Her putting up with my shit, too. Just, it's incredible. Find people who will put up with your shit. That's my motto. The shit that you put up with is like, aw, well, you're wonderful, too. And if it wasn't for Luna, we wouldn't have met either. So I'm glad for everything that I've experienced up until this point, because I got to meet the friends that I have now. So I don't have, like, regrets about my past like I used to. Who is Round Elf? His name is Round Elf. I'm so serious. His name is Round Elf. Anyways, I should play on the saucer so I can make some money. So I can make some MGP so I can get my bunny ears. Because Girlie needs her bunny ears. I actually also know how to make glamour prisms. So I can make glamour prisms for my friends. So they don't have to keep buying them. Suspicious characters? Well, now that you mention it, I did see a strange fellow wearing a garish purple robe. At first, I thought he was talking to himself, but then I realized he had a link pearl. I heard him say something about the wrong man and the silver bazaar. Does that help? No, it actually doesn't help me. But you're cute, so I'll let it slide. If someone's cute, I let them get away with things. Also, like, I let a lot of shit slide anyway. I was thinking about doing some spicy readings for the collective, but I wasn't sure anybody would want that, so I'm just like... And also I run the risk of it being a spicy reading for myself, so... That's, like, I've also considered, like, doing a singles prediction for myself during the live reading, but I'm like, that's pretty brave, because what if it says something? What if it says things and I have to, like, be embarrassed on live stream? That's when 80 people come in. That would be very embarrassing. It would be good for the content, though. And that's the goal, the content. Nothing else. I was thinking about working on my crafting during stream, but my issue with that is that I rely too heavily on my magic. So... Everyone's taller than me. Anyways. Oh, wait, I'm going the wrong way. Oops. Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to be back there. I'm paying attention. So what are your plans for the rest of the weekend, guys? What are you up to? Do you have any plans for the Lunar New Year? I have no idea what our plans are, but we're going to be doing something, I'm sure. I'm probably going to do a prayer or two on Monday. Maybe do some manifesting messages on Monday. I kind of want to do, like, what the collective is ringing in for the new year kind of messages, if that's okay with y'all. I think that would be okay with y'all. But it's definitely okay with me. And again, I will be open for readings Monday morning. Obviously, like, this isn't the end of stream yet, but I just wanted to kind of run through it real quick. I'm going to be open for readings pretty much indefinitely. You're obviously welcome to book a reading regardless of when I'm streaming, when I'm not streaming, but if you do want it live, you do have to check my schedule. That will be in the Discord. And then I have my Ko-fi available for the actual readings. I used to do readings by email with Venmo and Cash App, which I still do, but they're not as requested. So just a reminder, though, I'll go ahead and put those in there. And my Ko-fi. And of course, those are also open for tips, so go ahead and feel free to tip if you feel like tipping. If you don't feel like tipping, that's okay too. Like, this isn't me, like, trying to just get readings from people. I do genuinely like doing readings, but it's not a pressure to book one unless you absolutely feel called. One of our comrades returned from Stone Throw moments ago. A gang of bandits is said to be headed for the Silver Bazaar. They're after a man with an enormous bounty on his head. Is that all that's enormous on him? The people living there are in grave danger. In their frenzy to find their quarry, the bandits won't scruple to destroy property and harm civilians, and the few brass blades stationed there will be powerless to stop them. We must stop them, wind up. We'll protect the Silver Bazaar and avenge our injured guildmate all in one fell swoop. I like your moxie. That's another good word for the wands. It's moxie. It's your moxie. It's your, like, ability to get shit done. A bit melodramatic, if you ask me. Well, we weren't asking you, Aldi's. Don't you have a store to run? I told you never come here again. I couldn't sit idly by while you charge into battle against an enemy you know nothing about. Milla, a responsible guildmaster, would never risk the lives of her charges like this. Who are you to lecture me about responsibility? Ooh. Milla, listen to me. This is the Alacran you're dealing with. So, whatever notoriety they may have achieved means nothing to me. We'll cut them down like the common bandits they are. Ooh. It's not that simple. More importantly, it's not your fight. What are you saying? They want me, Milla. Oh, okay. I've been fending off assassination attempts ever since I returned to Thanalon. Oh. Just stay here and let me handle this. It'll be over soon, I promise. Just stay here while you go off on your own. Is that it? It's been 7 years since I let you leave all these. 7 years. Do you have any idea all what you put me through? Been there. Milla, I don't want to hear it, you selfish bastard. Do you even care about the people who suffered because of you? Just get out. We don't need your help. We'll settle this ourselves. Damn right. Milla, wait. There's something you need to know. Enough. Get out. She just wants him gone. Alright. Save some of that for the Alacran. But do not try to let Wind Up here come to harm while you're at it. Aw. You care about little old me? Little me? You better. Look at me. I'm small. I am petite. Rendezvous with Milla at the Silver Bazaar. All the fucking way over. No. That's a lot of walking. I suddenly don't feel like it. Don't look at my inventory. Oh my god. I forgot my inventory is that full. I'm trying to wait until I get my retainers unlocked so I can just shove all that stuff in there. But unfortunately, it's not going to work out like that, I don't think. I forgot my inventory was super full. Lyric. That's a cute name. I've met people with that name. It's cute. Let's hope it works out that I can do this. Save myself some walking. Maybe. Is that not... Oh, I read that shit wrong. Oh, is it a different one? Is it over there? I didn't save myself any walking. I just made things harder for myself. So actually, I wasted a ferry ticket. Okay. Where's that wah wah? That's me right now. The wah wah. Is that guy's name Surge Protector? There's a naked cat boy here named Surge Protector. That's beautiful. He's naked and his name is Surge Protector. That's actually beautiful. That is really beautiful. I love a naked cat boy named Surge Protector. I'm actually going to change to Archer and just Peloton so I can run my way there. And this is where you might be asking, but Val, don't you have a mount? No, I do not. Not yet, anyway. I'm gonna try and get through MSQ maybe on Monday so that I can maybe, like, get my mount. But it's gonna take a hot minute because I don't think you get your mount until level 30, and most of my alts are, like, level 20. And I think I'm close to it in the MSQ, but maybe I'm not, and I don't want to, like, take any, like, chances with that. So if you don't know, on Mondays I do morning weekly messages, and I'm hoping to do some special ones for the Lunar New Year. But usually my Mondays are, I do messages around 10:30 until 11:30, and then I play games for the rest of the stream, and the rest of the stream goes until like 1 o'clock. Sometimes it runs a bit over just because, you know, we have ad breaks, and I try to, like, do my best to explain things as I'm going and just kind of get a vibe for what's happening in the energy. But depending on how long that takes, I usually spend like the last hour or two doing readings or doing Final Fantasy MSQ. So it's a primarily gaming channel. I'm trying to, like, integrate more of my tarot stuff, but I'm not looking to, like, use it as a promotion. It's just nice to be able to kind of combine it. I see a lot of readers do that too. Okay, switch back. Almost there. Did I lock myself in? Yeah, I did. We're almost there, guys. A little bit longer. A duty? Disgusting. But I accept. Because what's the worst that can happen? I die? Probably. You never know. I just might. Duty. Alright, just turn that on. Turn on our tank stance. Start smacking these guys. Oh my god. Alright. Do they not heal you? Okay, so they heal you, but they were not healing me fast enough. Let's try that again. Just like, welcome to your duty. You died. Oh, okay. Sure. I'm running away. Oh my god. Oh my god. They hurt so much. They hurt so much. Somebody do something. They hurt so much. Oh my god. Well, at least I'm desirable on Valentine's Day, right? Funny, it's a joke. You're supposed to laugh and not feel pity for me. A little bit. Oh my god, there's more of them? Disgusting. I really like that I switched to controller because it has made playing this game so much easier. I think though, like, I should have switched a lot sooner, but it's fine. I hate fighting other Lollipops. What's that line that Obi-Wan says to, Anakin when they're, like, in the volcano? Not the volcano. There's, like, lava everywhere. You're supposed to stop the Sith, not join them, whatever he says. Rejoice, gladiators, for the day is ours. She's so hot. Kofi's like, anyways. Who's this man? A white man? We have an ad break coming. We have an ad break coming, so we'll be here. Oh, a man with a face tattoo. Who knew? Leave him to us, first sword. Uh-oh. People are gonna die. And there's a cat girl. Cool. And she's a monk. Such brittle blades, so easily broken. Perhaps the first sword is made of stronger steel. Leave her, Zana. Our business here is over. The wounded need tending. Let us take the... But I want to fight that guy. And clearly, so does she. She wants the smoke. Is that a femro? Hell yeah. I love femros. I should play on my femro more. Anyways, I have to turn this in, so I gotta go back to Ul'dah. This guy's name is Booty McDoodums. I think that that's probably the best name I've seen in this game thus far. Booty McDoodums. I can't say that without laughing. Booty McDoodums. I was so distracted by that, I ran away from the Aetheryte, and I need to go to the Aetheryte. Booty McDoodums. It's gonna be the new vocal stem for me, Booty McDoodums. Oh, it's so good. That should be on a, that should be on someone's resume, Booty McDoodums. Alright, so we do have the ad break coming in like 2 minutes, so we'll just be kind of here chilling out, and we'll be back in a little bit. You won't miss anything. So feel free to self-care and do the things that you need to do um, while the ad break is going. Stretch, hydrate, eat something if you haven't yet. I'm skipping the text here that I should be reading. This guy's name is Leovold. The guy we're talking to is named Aldi's, and he probably has a store to run, and we're distracting him with some guy named Leovold, who single-handedly transformed the Alacran from a gang of common thieves into the most feared criminal organization in Thanalan. I knew I had no return. Well, can't run a store if there's crime going on, right? It seems like a lifetime ago that the three of us used to train together in this hall. Train? The Leovold I knew would never stoop so low. He was a good man, strong and true. What would drive him to do this? Did Sephiroth do this? When I find him, I'll be sure to ask. He might be beaten to a pulp by then. Unfortunately, he seems determined to kill me for my curiosity. Oh. Why? What aren't you telling me, Aldi's? That he runs an Aldi's. I'm not clever enough to keep secrets, my dear. I'm a simple man, only capable of dealing with what's right in front of me. Is that so? I'll find him, Milla, I promise. Ooh! Well, that's uncomfortable. It ain't a stream unless something goes wrong, am I right? It's dark and I can't find the hole. Not the first time that's ever happened, and it won't be the last. Alright, we're good. We have light. I just love him just sitting here and it's just like, okay, no light for you. We're done. It's dark, can't find the hole, it's definitely Valentine's Day. That's how you know it's Valentine's Day, it's dark and you can't find the hole. Anyways. We have the ad break coming soon. We'll see you later. Oh my god. Ayo. That was good. See, I'm funny sometimes. I gotta go do my Arcanist quest. I don't want to. But I will. It's dark, you can't find the hole, it must be Valentine's Day. Val, you said it already, I don't have to keep saying it. It's funny to me. When something's funny, it becomes a vocal stem. There are a lot of people in Limsa right now. I just like how I charged it. I thought I charged it enough, I guess I didn't, and it just shuts off on me, and I'm like, okay, cool. It is a little too bright, though, if I'm being completely honest with you. There we go. I'm like, I'm pale, but I'm not that pale. Let's see, what level quest is? Level 20, okay. I was like, am I behind on these? Also, I love this Femro so much, but I can't say her name, and I'm not gonna try to. Don't make me try to say her name. Please, I beg. Just a bun boy in a maid costume, nothing to see here. He kind of looks like Alice in Wonderland, which is, I think that's what he was going for. But anyways. You seek a Mikote agent of Milvan's Gate. Well, yes, I have seen her. Spoke with her, in fact. She was, however, apprehended by the Yellow Jackets. The assessor was drilling me for details about a Keyturn? I think it's Keyturn. Smuggling ring based in Elport, but then the soldiers arrived and took her away. Welcome back from your ads. What'd you guys get? If you wish to know her fate, then I suggest you speak with the Grenade of the Coral Tower. Well, gosh golly, I sure will. Okay, so it's... Man, the Warriors got all their stuff up there, man. Maybe I should have picked up Marauder. What do you think? Oh, Grenades a person's name. Oh, Forcier Kilia. Yes, we brought her in for questioning regarding the reappearance of the pirate Dosmaga. Dosmaga? Dosmaga? I will forever struggle with the names in these games. A member of the Arcanist Guild, are you? Then I see no reason to conceal the nature of our discourse. Perhaps you are already aware of this, but the Forcier was once held captive by the rabid sea dog. Few pirates sink to such depths of depravity as Dosmaga. It has been 6 years now since he was exiled from Liminsa for engaging in the worst kind of black market trading. And now the villain has returned. He is, however, both cunning and cautious, and continues to evade our troops. Thus, we hope to borrow the knowledge of Forcier Kilia, whose experiences have given her an intimate familiarity with the way the scoundrel operates. At least that was our intent. After weathering a barrage of questions from the assessor, we found ourselves, instead, providing the details of our search. Should you wish to speak with the Forcier Kilia, I imagine she has already returned safely to your guild. Seems suspicious. It's like, you need to go find her. Well, if we knew she was en route back to the Arcanist Guild, then why do I need to go looking for her? I feel like there's some communication that's not happening here. This person's name is Little. Little Whisper. That's adorable. Back already? You were led to believe she had returned here? I'm afraid not. So Yellow Jackets has told you something of her history with Dosmaga, did they? Perhaps it would be best if I told you the entire tale. Dosmaga's banishment was a result of a surprise inspection that revealed his involvement in underground slave trade. Oh. The assessor that stepped aboard the pirate's merchant ship spoke of finding dozens of unwashed unfortunates crammed into that squalid hold. Among these prisoners was a young Mikote, destined for some black market auction block. Oh my god. Though Kilia was initially too terrified to even speak, the guildmaster brought her out of her fearful days with the gift of the Initiate's grimoire. Yes, the self-same tome that she has carried her entire career. Of course, did you not mention that Kilia's grimoire was thrown into the sea? There are rumors that the Kirchin merchant of ill repute has retrieved the black market goods the crew of the Morning Star heaved into the ocean. Even now he gloats over his salt-encrusted catch in Aleport. It is entirely possible that the Forcier's most prized possession was caught up in the Kirchin salvage net. I've no doubt now that Kilia has reached that same conclusion. To Aleport with you, wind up. That is where you will find our wayward assessor. Not the slave trade. That's fucked up, dude. See, this is what happens when you don't read the quest lines. Because I didn't the first time that I played Summoner, because I didn't really like, I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first started playing this game, I just played it to play it. I didn't pay attention to the AR story, and then when I started paying attention, it was in Heavensward, and I was like, what's happening? What is actually happening in this game? So, Luna and I had broken it down together at the time, and when I started actually paying attention to the story, I was like a little bit blown away by how like dark the themes get and how easily you can compare it to real world situations. So the fact that there's people out there who like don't see real world implications in this game, or they refuse to see it, or they just don't want to talk about it, kind of make me side eye a little bit. Am I going the wrong way? I am definitely going the wrong way. Good for me. It's okay. That's part of the stream. It's to go the wrong way sometimes. It's life. It's actually a good piece of advice. Sometimes you do actually go the wrong way. There is no such thing as the wrong way. There's just the places you haven't been to yet. Just jump down. Nope, can't do that. Let me live my life. Let me jump down. Oh my goodness. Can't a Lalafell just jump off of a ledge sometimes, like the Fool card? Can't I just live a little bit crazy? There she is. Alright, yes, yes. Combat pattern 256 should serve to cover all expected contingencies. You never know when you'll have to nullify a thaumaturge or two. My retrieval strategy is complete. Wind up. It is good for you to come. I was unable to calculate for certain if you would piece together my movements in time. Very little is certain when so many variables are involved. But there is good news. The prisoner here was kind enough. This guy? Was kind enough to confirm the trader who salvaged the Morningstar's jettisoned cargo did indeed retrieve a tome matching the description of my lost grimoire. Limits in law and the policies of Milvin's Gate would support the confiscation of goods connected to an official inspection. But alas, my personal belongings do not fall under that definition. Thus, I intend to launch an unofficial offensive against this black marketeer and his cronies. The peddler has already departed for Candlekeep Quay. It's key, I know. It is time I gathered to me such allies as I possess, and account you as one of them, wind up. Despite the nature of this endeavor, Mistress Thurbagium has offered me her cooperation. If you would, pray join her at Oshan's embrace. That is where we shall ambush the disreputable Kirchen. Some fucked up shit happening in this world. But that's Final Fantasy. It wouldn't be a Final Fantasy game if there wasn't some fuck shit happening, right? This is kind of, I mean, that whole, like, talk about pirates and stuff, it's kind of reminding me of, I don't remember which Pirates of the Caribbean movie it was, where, they mentioned Jack, refusing to be a part of the slave trade, and it's making me think of that a little bit. I don't have a car yet. It's okay. We'll get one eventually. Can't believe it's almost the end of stream time. That's crazy. But I will be back on Monday. We will be, as always, doing the free Monday messages for the week ahead. We'll be doing some special New Year's ones for the Lunar New Year, as well as just some kind of talk about what we're manifesting into the new year, what we're hoping to see during the Year of the Horse, and things that we are hoping to kind of leave behind with this Year of the Snake energy. Because I do believe a lot of us, especially once Saturn left Pisces, had our eyes open to, I'm going the wrong way, had our eyes kind of open to how our experiences over the last 2.5 years kind of molded us into what we are today. And something I noticed after Saturn kind of left Pisces was that I'm not really that much different. I tried to convince myself that for years that I had changed just so much as a person, and in a lot of ways I did. But I'm not really that different. I'm not really that different from the person I've always been. And I think that's kind of a collective understanding that we're going to be seeing a lot with the Aquarius North Node movement in June, actually in July, is that we're seeing sort of like a shift of people who are starting to recognize their authenticity as sometimes who you already are. You aren't like, there's no anticipation of you being someone new necessarily. Hi, Florine. How are you? So it's just important to kind of be honest with yourself. That's more of the authenticity that one looks for. It's not about being some idealized version of yourself, you know? The strategy for trapping our target relies on the two allies we have concealed on the other side of the ravine. This pincer maneuver was, naturally, the Foreseer's idea. As for the target himself, the Tirchin is known as a careful and cautious fellow. He travels with a small retinue as so as to avoid attracting attention, but do not be fooled. More bodyguards follow at a distance and will likely join the fray after hostiles ensue. Do not, however, expect any assistance from the Yellow Jackets. They cannot be seen aiding us in what amounts as a personal matter, but they are willing to turn a blind eye for Kilia's sake. In any case, the Foreseer's tactics account for our limited numbers and individual strengths. Victory is all but assured. Now let us take up our positions and wait for the key turn to arrive. I'm glad you're doing good. Trying to decide what to do for dinner. Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna have to figure that out after this. Because it is almost the end of stream. Can you believe that? Alright, so I do have to do this, but I feel like it's going to kind of run over stream time, so I'm just going to kind of leave this here and do this off stream if you don't mind. Because we are going to do our closing messages because we did our earlier messages and I'm kind of like want to do some closing messages. Not with tarot, just closing messages for ourselves. So, as I've said before, we do have a Discord available. There's emotes in there. There's just, I wouldn't say it's like hot and popping right now, but it's there. You'll know when I'm streaming because there'll be notifications. There's also my schedule that's available in the events tab on that Discord. I also have a Ko-fi that is available for tips and paid readings. The paid readings are available anytime. I usually do my paid readings when I'm not streaming, but there are options to get a live reading. Those will be mentioned as TS in parentheses. A couple things I want to say for sort of the messages that I did earlier when it comes to self-love. Again, self-love is subjective to, or it is nuanced to your situation. So if there is a situation that you're in where you are discovering that self-love is kind of like a struggle for you and you'd like to get a reading on that subject, it is available to you under the $20 love readings. And I don't mind doing like love readings if there's consent from both people. But again, it has to be consent from both people if you are asking about a person. Otherwise, do not ask me about another person because I will straight up say no. Consent is a very important part of tarot. It's a very important part of messages. That's why I always say take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Don't force a message to resonate with you if it just doesn't. What else did I want to say? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for what I wanted to say. And as far as my readings go, it's really hard to get the right lighting in here, but we'll figure that in due time. I think what I'm going to do is also work on cue commands for the future in case we do get some people booking readings during stream time. I should write that down on my notepad. Wherever the hell it went. Don't you love when you like have your life put together and then something like shows you that you do not have your life put together? Oh no. Okay. Damn. That is real unfortunate. I don't know where my notepad is. I'll probably find it after the stream. Oh, no, I found it. Never mind. It was under something. That's usually how it goes. You know, you try to look for something and it's under something else. I put my deck on top of it. That's why I couldn't see it. So, for our closing messages, what I'm just going to say is that when it comes to self-love, please love yourself first and foremost. Find the way that you love yourself through not expecting yourself to be perfect on your journey. It's okay to see things in yourself that you don't like and want to work on and do better with. But I think part of self-love is also recognizing where you're at in your authenticity and understanding that sometimes where we're at, it's okay to not like where you're at and it's okay to not want to stay there, but understanding that sometimes we keep ourselves in that loop and in that place because we're trying too hard to get away from it. So love yourself where you're at the best way that you possibly can. Don't try to love an idealized version of yourself that doesn't really exist. Know who you really are and be honest with yourself about who that is, and the sooner you do that, you will manifest better love into your life of all kinds. Be open to whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like. Sometimes the person that you are destined to be with, I don't believe there's such thing as like soulmates and twin flames. I don't really believe in that stuff. I believe we find the people that we're supposed to find on the journey that we're on. You know, you're going to find people who are just as messed up in the head as you. As long as you're honest with yourself about who that person is, you will find the person who's there for you. When I started working on my authentic self, I kind of took a backseat of what that meant, and I stopped really doing things that were authentically me, and I kept running into problems and wondering why I was running into those problems. And then when I started doing things that were authentically me, I found my people. So And I will still continue to find my people the more I express myself authentically, and streaming is a part of that. So I'm kind of hoping that the more that I stream and the more that I do these things that I enjoy on camera and share them with you all, that I'm able to find more people who are aligned with me. So this Valentine's Day, don't be sad about where you're at or where you're not at yet. Um, be happy with what you've experienced and love yourself and your experiences, because it's really going to help you shine and find that path forward. Um, I kind of want to do one more reading before we close out, because I have a few more minutes until stream's officially over. Just reminding you, there is a Ko-fi and a Discord if you want to check those out. But we're going to switch over and do one more tarot message. Thank you so much, by the way, for everyone who has been sticking around for it. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Remember to take what resonates. These are our closing message before we get to Monday. What is our final message in self-love? On our self-love journey for the collective. What do we need to hear today? Okay, interesting. So the Eight of Swords is the way we let our beliefs and the way that we think kind of trap us. That's too many cards, but you know what? It happens. The way that we let our mentality trap us, it's kind of a wombo combo of imbalance, because it kind of looks like this message is saying that we're a little too proud of ourselves and where we're at. I think in our self-love journey, it is important to be proud of the person that you are and what you've endured and what you've experienced. It's important for you to experience yourself as you are. But I think this imbalance that we're seeing here is that your pride in yourself might be conflicted with your beliefs. Like, your beliefs are conflicting. They're out of sync with who you actually believe you are. Like, who you actually are does not reflect your belief system. And I think that this is kind of like saying, like, these things are out of balance because they're not supposed to be in balance whatsoever. Your belief system does need work, and even though your belief system is the reason that you are the way you are today and that you worked on yourself as much as possible, it also contributes to why you needed to work on yourself. I think that's what this is saying, and boy golly, is that a call out. We do have the Page of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which is showing that immaturity again. We also have the Two of Wands, which to me is like, it's very similar energy. You see another hand right down here that's kind of reaching. Like, you're meeting people who are in the same kind of wheelhouse as you, where like there is this like energy of like ego kind of conflicting with belief systems. So this is where you might be at, and this is where you might be seeking self-love. But the thing is, you already have the self-love within you, because you've gotten to this point, because you're confident in who you are, and because you've gotten to where you are because of who you are. This sword here, this represents you know the right ways to think and to move forward. But unfortunately, I think you get kind of like in your own head too much, and you kind of escape yourself a little bit. So remember to come right back to who you are, and to remember that there are core values and morals that keep you who you are, besides these things that might be triggering your conflict. I think this is also just giving too much energy to other people maybe, and it's kind of making you think too negatively and poorly of yourself. So to kind of sit back and let other people handle their own problems sometimes. Don't overextend for other people is kind of what I'm getting from this. Let's see if there's another card we can get. Alright. Yeah. Wheel of Fortune. I think going forward, this is just asking you what you want to see going forward. Do you want more of this, or do you want more of this? I would say you probably want more of this, but the thing about the Emperor is that with these mix of cards, I kind of get the feeling that there's a lot of ego in this. It's not really supporting you thinking more positively about your experiences, or at least keeping you trapped. So, in what ways are your ego and the way that you hold your belief systems and the confidence you have behind your belief systems because it's gotten you this far? It's time to kind of do like a spring cleaning and see like what positives you're keeping and what you're throwing away, what belief systems you might want to leave behind you. You know, what's been defeating you, and is it yourself? There's going to be some clarity on this in the near future, and I feel like it's already starting for you, whoever you are. But your self-love journey is not about, I need to love myself in my ego. It's about loving yourself because, you know, your ego has been fighting to survive for so long. And I think also with this energy, you're kind of seeing like, you're seeing yourself fall apart and having to kind of put yourself back together and giving yourself no credit for that is kind of how I'm also reading it. And you kind of have to. If you're going to be hard on yourself, at least give yourself credit for being hard on yourself and having to like piece yourself back together afterwards, you know? All right, so that is the final message for the evening. I am just putting cards together so I can shuffle them back in. Thank you so much for all who have been here. If you've been here the whole time or if you're just coming in, this is my end of streams. Thank you for being here. If you have, my Ko-fi is available. My Discord is up there in the link. If you have any questions for me, there is going to be an FAQ or at least a questions and answer thing in my Discord soon at some point to kind of like questions for next stream, content we want to talk about next stream, things we want to know about next stream. So in case you don't think of it during stream, don't think to ask me about it on stream. You can, and I will ask it next time we are in stream because the Discord will have it there. Thank you so much to those who have stayed. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Pisces. Thank you for being here. Thank you for modding for me. And thank you for being such a wonderful friend. We are going to close out and have a good evening to you all. I'll see you back on Monday. Take care. Enjoy your evening. Bye.